Hopefully this isn't focused, because my camera like to play games. So anyway, I am back with a new video, you guys. It's your boy, Spencer, and this week I'm talking about the kind of the downsides of transitioning, in a sense. Not like there's like not like there aren't good things about it, but just kind of like some shitty things about transitioning. And these are just my experiences, so don't take it like a grain of salt. Just like, this is what I've kind of encountered, in a sense. So yeah, to start off, the first thing I kind of realized that I hated about transitioning is like kind of the whole act of having to come out in order to transition, basically. Because basically when I came out, I was like 12, 13 years old, and I had no haircut, my hair was greasy, had a really bad ponytail, I had really bad acne, I was like super like chubby as a kid, and I was just like in this weird mindset of like, cool, I can just like cut my hair and find my chest and no one's gonna know that I'm trans. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did, but it doesn't, sadly. Also the fact that I was, again, only like preteen, so I had to come out for my mom to really know what I needed and wanted as a person, individual, not just a trans person. And it was just like a weird gap of like, alright, well, I want to be out because I hate being called the wrong name and the wrong pronouns, but at the same time I don't want to be out, because if I'm out, then it means like I'll have to like answer a bunch of questions and go through all these like process and like name change and all this other stuff. And it's just like, from what I researched in my prepubescent long really cringy days, it's just like I was always like researching, okay, like how do I transition, how to go about it. It was just like the whole act of having to come out in order to do that was kind of like really disheartening and really stressful for me, because I didn't know how my parents would react, and they didn't react the most positive way to begin with, or the second time, or the third. But it took a while for them to actually get to the point of like, well, he's kind of serious about this, like he really wants to do this. Specifically with my mom, because I was young, I am the youngest, and I was her only girl in a sense, so that was a big shift for her, from like, I have this beautiful baby girl that I'm gonna raise, and she's gonna have all the cute boys and all this other stuff, to like, I have a third son. Cool, but like, you know, that type of thing. So kind of like, I had to keep in mind, like, damn, I'm kind of questioning my mom, between with like, girl, and like all this stuff, and like, mommy and me time, and all this other stuff. But then it's also like, she already had two boys, she kind of knew what to do already, but also like, how do you raise a trans kid, basically, in a sense, because by the time I came out, and by the time I came out and the time I actually started my transition, was a big gap between like, alright, I know that my kid is trans, but like, how do I really go about it? No one's really talking about this, and like, ones that are like out of state, or like they're white or something, so it's like they didn't really see a trans kid of color specifically, so I didn't even know if that made sense, if I could do that, or like maybe I'm just like really butch and I could be like a masculine girl, and it was like, no, not in my case at least. So yeah, the second thing I kind of hated about the whole transitioning process was just like, it's really like mind consuming to think about constantly like pronouns and name and legal documents, and like, what if I want testosterone? What if I don't want testosterone? Can I get on it? Will I find a doctor? Will people misgender me? Will I be gendered correctly? What patent are you? Oh my god, like, it was so much thinking within like my middle school time that I didn't really get a chance to actually enjoy middle school so much, because also the fact that people were assholes and bullied me consistently. So when I could go out and would want to go, I didn't, because I was like, I don't want to encounter neighborhood kids, because they're gonna fucking say some dumb shit and I'm gonna get mad and probably want to throw hands. So that was a big thing with me. And even in high school, when I was able to like come out and just, you know, begin my transition socially, at least, it was still in an awkward stage of like, I don't want to go out with friends because I never went out with went out with friends in school, but then it's also like, I want to go out and be a regular teenager, but then I don't want to have to get gender, and if we go to the movie, what bathroom do I use? If I get cast in the bathroom, what happens? Oh my god. So basically a question of like, what ifs and a worst case scenarios, and just like really bad like things that really upset me, and also from like the biases and stereotypes and negative images of trans people within the media and from my family knew of. It was just like, I don't want to go out because I feel like I'm going to get jumped or hurt or killed in some way, God forbid. In my case, the only bad thing that really happened is like almost being like part of a trans hate crime related, but it's also just like, the words kind of really stung with me so much. I was very big on like, I have to be super macho, I gotta be a manly man, I gotta do sports, I gotta be a jock. Like, it was like I was so consumed with masculinity and masculinity to begin with, that I wasn't able to fully be myself, even though I was being myself, if that makes sense. The third thing I really fucking hated was fucking haircuts, because the thing was, I didn't get my haircut until I was like 15 years old, going into 9th grade, and then when I got a cut, I got like the surfer cut, I'll post like a picture of it up in a probably, and like it was just really awkward because it was like my hair was perm, so I had like this pretty boy cut going on, but then I didn't get a buzz cut until like my 10th grade year because I was like, alright, my hair is short, but it's not too short, so I won't stand out because my face is still like really chubby and kiddish looking, and I look like a 12-year-old boy instead of a 15-year-old boy. And that's when I did get my hair cut shorter a bit, my mom was like, no, don't cut it too short too soon because we're still working out the kinks. And it's just like, what do you mean? Because every other guy in my school has like a short haircut, and that was my issue because of what I was seeing, because of what I thought was expected of me as a boy, especially a boy color. I thought I had to conform to those norms. If I knew that I could keep my hair long or just get like a buzz cut on like the sides or undercut, I would have done that coming out and going to high school instead of having this really weird, awkward surfer boy cut, and having to do my hair with a bunch of product, and having to wake up early to get it done, or have it like stick out and look really fuzzy and gross. Now my hair, like, I'm kind of getting back into that cut, but it's not as severe as it was in like high school, where I was like very strong at point like, if I can't be an overly macho guy, I'll be a feminine one, but then it's like that doesn't work either because I'm still gonna be misgendered. So that whole thing. The fourth thing I really hated was bathrooms. Just in general, bathrooms always kind of give me like an uneasy feeling in my stomach, even though I've been out for like almost 5 years. Not even like almost 6 years, but it's just like just thinking about bathrooms in like a public setting, just like especially bathrooms where it's like there's only 2 fucking stalls and there's like 10 urinals. Yo, that gives me the worst headache ever. And like the worst thing was like me and my friends were all like trans in some way. We all went to the guy's bathroom and it was like a big ass line for the stalls and we're just waiting there, but the urinals are empty and open. And the guy behind me was like, "Oh, are you going?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I gotta do number 2." And it's just like gross. So it's like I can't stand waiting for the stall because then it's just like, but then it's just like I can't go to the urinal because I don't got a STP, but I also don't got nothing to pee out of the urinal. So just like a lot of like anxiety wrapped around that, especially like going like pretty in like my area back at home, and I was just like very consumed with like Jesus Christ, if I go and someone recognize me, or like if I go and like someone in my class sees me, it's like, oh my god. And also like my school was very supportive and chill about it, thankfully, but like the social aspect of it was like the biggest issue because when I did change bathrooms in like the second half, like midway beginning of my freshman year, it was like an issue of like, oh my god, there's a girl in the boys' bathroom, and then it's just like, I'm not a girl, asshole. And then also issue of like people that didn't know I was trans. It was like, oh, like why you in here, and like can't you use a different bathroom? And at first they were like, oh well, you can use the bathroom downstairs on the first floor, even my class is on the 4th floor. So it was just like, why should I have to go out on my way to use the bathroom when I can use the freaking boys' bathroom right down the hall? I didn't have any issues in the bathroom specifically, which is like a lot of unnecessary comments and like weird looks, and then like a lot of like gross smells, and just like bathrooms are gross in general, I think, regardless of your gender, but just like it was fucking weird. And also it sucked too, and I was on my, you know, Shark Week in that sense, because I don't want to use the terminology really, in my sense also that people that may be watching this. So yeah, like basically that, like when I was on like my time of the month, it was just like weird because I was in the guy's bathroom, but it was like there are no like pad, you know, installation things, but like I didn't want to carry it in my bag, and it was like a weird time period. Even like when I got on T, and it was still happening, I was just like, this is weird. And like the worst time it ever happened was like I got it in school, and I threw out all my stuff because I thought, okay, it's done, I don't have to wear it no more. And I was like only 2 months into testosterone, and that shit came down, and I was like, oh my god. Thankfully, I was friends with a lot of the girls in my school, so they got me like equipment and they helped me clean up, and they were like the best. So like I love you guys for that. Thank you. Number 5, I hated the whole like waiting process, just in general. Not even with like testosterone, just like top surgery, just like just waiting and like waiting what's to happen next, waiting for when's the right time to like talk about other things further along, waiting to see the doctor, waiting for appointment time, waiting for like a call back or just like the okay, and like even getting fucking mail of like my name changed with my birth certificate and all that was just like agonizing because I was like, alright, cool. Basically, if my name has changed and my gender marker changed, do I not have an identity now until the paper gets approved? And it was just like a weird time, and I felt really anxious but very happy at the same time. And it was just like I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and even with like top surgery, when I realized, okay, I want to take this next step, I want to see someone, I want to get my letters approved, and like waiting for my letters to be approved, and then waiting to see my counselor to get the other letter, and then waiting for my doctor to get their letter, and then waiting in general to see the surgeon himself, and then waiting a couple more months to clarify some questions I might have, and waiting until next summer for surgery itself. It's just really agonizing to think about, but also very excited to think about because it's going to be happening sooner than I think, and it's a lot on my mind. But then it's also like I'm happy because it's happening, and it's like I don't have to wait like another 2 or 3 years. And that was my biggest fear. I was like, if I'm in college and I want to go to school, but also I want to get top surgery in between college, what do I do? And I was trying to get it the summer of senior year before college, but then that was too short in the waiting period. And then if I did get it that summer, I wouldn't have been doing much stuff like sports. So I was kind of big on like I'm getting surgery so that I can feel more content and more peace and less of my dysphoria, but also the fact that I don't want to have to worry about not doing sports I want to do. But in a sense, it's like I don't do sports in high school. I didn't do sports in middle school. What the fuck? Why was I so obsessed with doing sports? So I don't know. Point is, that was like a whole headache itself too. And I guess the final one for me would be number 6. This thing of like knowing that I'm trans, but then being stealth, which I realize has been like a question lately for me of like, if I'm stealth, what does that mean? I'm like, how do I move throughout life? Like, if I find someone attractive, do I tell them that I'm trans off the back, or do I not? Do I tell a date? Do I wait till after date? Do I call them, or do I text them? It's just like questions of like what it means to me to be trans, and then a trans person of color, and then a trans masculine person of color too, because back at home I was also targeted when they came out, and then also the fact that I look more masculine and I look like a threat when that was like kind of alarming to me, but also not surprising too. And then a sense of like, if I am out, like, do I have to be out to everyone? And if I am to some people don't know, and like what does that mean? And then just a lot of questions of like what it means to be trans, and what it means for me specifically, in a sense, because I was so fixated on if I'm trans I have to be binary, conform to these gender roles, and that was so far from the truth. So far from the truth. I did not, and if I knew that before coming out, if I knew that throughout the past 6 years of transitioning, I would have been less likely to want to rush into things, really. I think that was my biggest, like, regret within the whole process. Like, I rushed a lot of stuff. Like, I rushed my haircut. I didn't like it at all. I kept changing it. I kept doing so much stuff to my hair because I didn't like it. And then because of that, I also kind of rushed testosterone because I was like, alright, I'm about to be like 17, like I'm gonna start this, and I want this done now, and I want it done before senior year, and all this stuff. And I think even though I rushed it, but also did have really good outcomes. Like I didn't have to worry about senior year going to like the bathroom, worrying about is it gonna come this month. I didn't have to worry about cramps. I could feel more confident in my body and see the changes and hear my voice crack and see the shifts and like how I'm treated. And I even get like a little mustache around my face. It's like very thin, but it's coming, and it's like I wouldn't have gotten that now if I waited another year, another 2 years. And then especially being in like college where it's like I'm on my own, something happens, it's like what do I do? Because my papers say this one thing, but I present it as another. And just like the thing of like my biggest fear is to be a victim of like a really bad hate crime. Like I saw the movie Boys Don't Cry, and that really made me fearful of this coming to school so far away. But I do feel safe and I do feel welcome here a lot, so that's a big difference, thankfully. But it's like that's still always in the back of my mind, so that really, so yeah, that's some of the stuff that kind of, you know, downside of the transitioning in my experience. So once again, don't credit me on all of this, just if I encountered, and also like some down things feel like being trans, and just like, yeah, so that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Comment down below any video ideas, because I have no ideas, to be honest. I got this from someone on my Instagram who messaged me to talk about this. So yeah, your boy out.